Hello, self, infinite cosmos, everything else in between. Soul Dr. Nick here. This is Magic Mirror Work at around 5:30 a.m. on July 8th, 2025, Tuesday. Just returned from vacation. 4 days camping in Salt Spring, 3 days in Vancouver Island at a Cobb House in the Cowichan Valley in the Glenora area. And yeah, definitely the first time getting away from the city in this kind of way. It's been a while since I've done magic mirror work. There's a lot going on. It's just about, well, it's past sunrise, but with the mountains, it's blocking the sun a little bit, the direct sun. So we'll see how that goes. Lots to talk about, lots to deal with, and lots of ideas percolating. Just the discipline to follow through with things, what's going on with the world, my own personal worldview and noticing it shifting, and then having a dear friend remind me, it's like, if your worldview keeps shifting and keeps shifting with it, it's hard to build a foundation. What are you going to choose for right now? And then build from that foundation first, and then notice as it shifts, and then build from there. But don't shift it too rapidly. And I think that's an important part. Like, incorporate things in, but don't just keep shifting the worldview, because it's actually more convenient to keep doing that. And so there are a few things, like just the idea of the monetary system not making sense. The old monetary system, the new one that's coming in, like, and just noticing, the more that I know, it's like, okay, every country in the Western world has just been printing money. Like, inflation's been going crazy. The whole idea of inflation and taxation and debt and deficit spending haven't made sense. And how to step outside of that, how to allow for the space for, and I'll say this word, a loyal title, for self-governance, how to look at freedom, Everything had been the schooling, asking for permission to use the washroom, asking for permission now, as I realized, to buy a car, to transfer a car, to buy a house, to get married, to move, to open a bank account. Oh wow, there's that speck again. Hey, interesting. There's a speck in the sky that keeps showing up and I don't know why there, but I imagine that speck is here to remind me, and this is another world, extraterrestrial life, and I don't think it's really extraterrestrial. I think that our whole history, that's the other part, has been, I don't know if the word is bastardized, but it's hilarious that we think that somehow 2,000, 4,000 years ago, that's all there was, or, that evolution is all there is, that we're hairy apes versus multiple advanced civilizations have existed on this earth. And look at it, we've got the Sphinx, we've got the pyramids all over the place, we've got all these things that reflect astronomy in the most precise detail to showcase the level of precision that was available, and the only thing that could stand the test of time with all the changes. And then the third thing there is the idea that things can change drastically in the earth at any point in time. The more I look at things, the more I realize predictability is less predictable than we think, and we're trying to break in the predictability to feel more safe and comfortable. But the actual bigger thing is to keep building ourselves so that we're anti-fragile, so that we are resilient against great changes that can happen anytime, and recognizing they can happen anytime. Anytime my body can have a huge change, seismic, whether it's someone having a heart attack, myself having a heart attack, myself having an aneurysm burst, or anything else like that. It's like, these things can happen. And my work is to optimize my body in a way that feels good and creates results. And in the same thing in life is, I want to optimize my business so it feels good while I'm doing it and creates results, not one or the other. And I think sometimes, oh wow, it's cool, it's going more vertical. Is that a plane or something else like that? Interesting. So interesting, it's shifting so quickly. And another thing there too. And part of it for me is noticing when I'm not actually optimizing the way I want to, whether it's just feeling good in the moment or whether it's just looking for results. And there are times when I can go off script and it may create a better result. go off script and create a worse result. And just notice when that happens. Um, so one of the pieces in terms of the money coming back to is looking at cryptocurrencies as a whole and then looking at Bitcoin. And having looked at it over and over and over again, I keep saying, like, I heard about it way back in like 2010 and before, because I remember hearing from my friend Rob, and he had written a paper about it. And I was like, I can look back and go, why didn't I? That's way more valuable than any of the real estate I could have purchased. I also, though, owned Shopify when it was $20, and sold that. And I'd heard about Apple Pay. I thought that just makes sense. And now it's bringing those ideas forward. I heard about Google when it first came out. It's like, this is going to make sense. What's going to make sense moving forward? I don't know yet. And I do. So it's just tapping into that. Wow, it's expanding and contracting. What is going on? That looks like, are those just, I'm going to say the word chemtrails, contrails, whatever you want to say. And the piece I'm recognizing is, even with my worldview expanding, it doesn't mean I'm seeing the truth now. It seems I'm seeing another possibility and recognizing there's completely different possibilities to the world. And then it keeps going back to, what do I want to create? Like, I'm recognizing how important family is. Like, I'm really prioritizing family. There's something coming up with family in July, and I'm like, you know what? It's a priority. And August, I'm spending the first 2 weeks in PEI for my parents' 50th anniversary. Priority. October, the plan is to go on a trip with my beloved's family. Priority. And just noticing over and over again, I'm making the choice to prioritize that. And then the whole idea of my company, Ohana Sage, it's prioritizing family. Who do I want to invite in, create as family, and not be over invested in them? And that's part of it. I don't want to over invest them. I don't want to under invest them. I want to invest in them and invest in a way that actually serves. So this week we spent a week with our dear friends Johanna and Francis and their little one, and realizing that we worked really well together, like spent a whole week with them. And when's the last time I actually spent a week with any set of friends in that kind of close capacity? And at the end of it, I really felt like I could definitely spend more time with them. And part of it's because there was such a natural give and take. It wasn't like we're sacrificing ourselves for each other. It's not like, oh, we have to do this and let's just survive the week. It's like, all right, let's thrive the week. And definitely felt like I'm thriving. I'm still coming back tired. Oh, wow. Whether that's a contrail, chemtrail or not, one got bigger, one shrank. It's like it's doing all these kind of crazy things to say hello, to showcase. And part of it was, we're looking at, are we going to be able to create land together? Are we able to create a dream of living close to the earth together? And my reminder to them over and over again is that this is primarily their prime dream. So can they be the captain of the ship? Because that's going to be the most important thing. And, oh, that's interesting. Every time I look away, something shifts. Can they be the captain of their own ship? And I really want them to be. I want them to showcase that they can be the captain of their own ship. Part of me wants to record this. I'm like, you know what? Just let it go. Oh, it turns into clouds. Wow. Every time I look, it just changes so drastically. So much fun. Because it's going to be about creating the impossible. It's like, we want to create 5 acres, we want to create homes, we want to create at least 2 families that are working together so they can actually build, first of all, growing of crops, and then hopefully animals, and really devoting at least 2 years to the land and seeing what's possible. And I love that. I love that idea. I also recognize that right now the money of it doesn't work with us being the full financiers of it, and that's okay, because it's expanding beyond us. It's expanding beyond what Nick and Iris can do, and reminded them that we're not the captains. Money is this amazing innovation. It can help us do anything we want at any point in time. And how to invest in yourself first. How to invest in yourself first. And part of it may be coming to the Odyssey, and it will sound ridiculous if that's the case. Part of it may be in doing something else. And I don't know what that is, but it's having those conversations that's going to actually guide it forward more than they can think. And part of it is shifting the worldviews. What is the worldview we're basing all of this off? Yeah. A lot of trade noise right now. So I'm just noticing that, so I'm going to leave a little message about that. And then part of it right now, I've got 10 days of intense work with one person who's coming. And how do I make it both intense, intentional, and fluid and flexible and grounding? And what are the priorities there? How do I prioritize this next vehicle that I can see? Looking at it from a price perspective. How do I just let go of some old stories and just feel the stories as they flow through me? It's like, oh, I'm never going to get a rebuilt car. This is the thing I'm thinking of. I'm like, if it's a secondary car and price is the most important metric that I'm looking for, price for the value of what it is delivering to me in the next 2-3 years, that might actually be the best option. So just taking a look at that and being with that. And then looking at the categories of cars, whether it's the Mazda minivan, whether it's the Q5. I think it's stepping outside of the norm. Like, this is part of it. It's stepping outside of the norm to play with the edges of the box that we're playing in. And that was part of it. I could have gotten a Toyota Highlander that would have been inside the boxes of what we're familiar with. And it would have been a logical choice. And then I got this Lexus, which is super quiet, super comfortable, all that stuff. But it isn't quite as spacious as we would like it to be. And I think it's given us a different kind of constraint. And that's the thing, is life is just about choosing constraints right now. The constraint right now is I'm living in the city, tethered to the in-laws family, and how do I make the most of that? Instead of saying I need to get us out of here sooner, it's like, all right, we're going to be with this, and I can see my own beloved looking at re-examining her life. And the challenging thing for me is the moment she actually re-examines it, am I ready for the next step? And so getting myself ready in my own way. And so looking at my brand, my company, my messaging, my Instagram videos, how do I be more clear? And how do I drive my team for more clarity too? So I'm going to reach out to TK. What are we doing for this Instagram thing? I didn't hear from you last Friday. Revamping the Odyssey, revamping the soul immersions. How do I create these soul immersions in a way that really fits? And how do I partner with people for the integration piece? Really partner with them. And I don't know that yet either. How do I integrate with integration? And that's probably part of it, is how to integrate with the integration. How to integrate with the integration. Who are my integrators of the integration? And how to keep creating the breath, the Ohana breath, how to keep spreading it, I notice there's all these loose ends for work that I haven't followed through with, and that's okay. Parts of this hurt. Parts of this feel like it hurts. Parts of this is feeling anxiety over what some of the people are going to say about my work, about pricing, all that stuff. And just breathing into it and feeling the tension and the intention of it all. And then going towards the packing, the cleaning, everything else. Today I'd already feel like I want to curl up in a ball and hide. Yeah, so just noticing myself, like I can create phenomenal cosmic things and I can feel like hiding at the same time. So what else is there? during this trip had great poops. Really got in the sun. Really saw what low EMF is. Low EMF is just what world used to be like before we had the cell phones, before we had the Wi-Fi, before we had all these wireless devices. And part of the wireless devices right now that are always on phone, even when it's on airplane mode, fucking washer and dryer. So part of me is like, how do we turn that off when it's not in use? What else is there? Those are some of the biggest culprits. The computer as well, so shutting that down more often. It's just really interesting. Really interesting how it's going back to the wired world, or the less intelligent world, so to speak. And artificial intelligence, kind of cool, kind of scary. Kind of cool, kind of scary. And just how to create more work and take care of the work that's being created. Like really take care of it. Like looking at each of the clients and reaching out and chatting and supporting and leaving messages for. Nurturing some of those connections. And that's probably part of it, is looking at all the connections that I've created over the last couple of years and actually sending out a message to nurture them and see what happens then. Nurturing the work that already has been halfway there, the warm connections. And then just trusting messages that be sent out, even when I don't think they're ready yet, because I could help guide it, define it, and I have a chance to do that, and part of me sometimes wants to abdicate the throne. And then both look at the selling and buying things that wants to happen. I want to sell things, I want to buy things. I got a Instago 3S camera because I thought for the family. No return that because there's a sale on, and I think it's really the 360 camera. It's trying that out because that's what I can use in circle. And what would that be like? Look at the reflection of SFU. The growing of crops, the growing of food, the eating of amazing food, the eating of amazing food. The simple things, the groceries that want to be there, the friends that want to be there, the relationships that want to be there. The connections that want to be there. Where can I go just to do a breath session, so to speak? Where can I go just to do a breath session, so to speak? Taking a look at the amenities room, see what's booked already, see what can be booked. See what can be booked. To see what can be booked. Love it all. Love it all. And then creating the healing modalities for the soul that's coming in. Just being open to all the different possibilities. Thank you, sunshine. Thank you, sunrise. Thank you, sunrise. Thank you, sunrise. Thank you, sunrise. Let's see how the sunrise goes. All right. Ciao for now.